Hello everybody, Happy New Year to you and Happy New Moon in Capricorn, happening on the 9th of January at 19 degrees of Capricorn. Now this new moon is particularly powerful, as always at the time of of a new moon. We've got sun and moon coming together, but they are also together with Pluto. So they are aspecting Pluto. So we've had Pluto in Capricorn since 2008. So there's been huge changes in structures. Many changes. Many people have found they've lost their homes, they've lost families, loved ones. There's just been a lot of loss of certain stability while this Pluto since 2008 has been in Capricorn. And Pluto is still going to be in Capricorn until 2024, so we're right in the middle, if you like, of Pluto in Capricorn energy. So it's really at its strongest point here, and with it coming conjunct to this sun and moon, we're looking at power. We're looking at the use of power. We're looking at using power in our lives to transmute energy. So for example, you can use energy to heal. When you, for example, you can have some pain in your body, and maybe you just start singing to that part of your body. You just start toning, and all of a sudden that pain just disappears. It's a very powerful energy that we're going to be working with. And I am doing another video all about these Mercury retrogrades, because every Mercury retrograde this year, and there's 4 of them, usually it's 3, but we've got 4 for good measure this year, is going to be impacting Pluto. So when I see this Pluto right in the middle of a sign like this, it's like it's got a lot of room, it's sitting in the middle. So it feels very strong here. Yes, and so we've got a great deal of strength that can be used in a very powerfully strong way for good. And we've equally got powerful energies that can kind of suck us, yes, into all kind of dark fears and all kinds of things of what might happen and what's going to go wrong and all those kinds of things. So it's an extremely powerful energy. And it's even more powerful because at the time of this new moon, we've got Mercury retrograde. All right, Mercury is retrograde at the time of this full moon. Mercury retrograde from the 6th to the 26th. So Mercury also retrograde in Capricorn. So we've got all this Capricorn energy. And Capricorn is all about our structures. All right, it's looking at structures. Now we have to be a little bit sensitive to structure this year, because as I mentioned in my astrological predictions for the coming year, this year is a very mutable year, and mutable is all about changing. It's about sort of flowing in and flowing out and flowing around and finding easier ways of doing things. 2 of my very best friends, they've been trying to adopt a child for years. And it all went terribly wrong with a child that they finally got to adopt, who actually had severe autism, and he just about destroyed their whole house. But they fought the whole process. I saw them fighting. It was like pushing with the energy. You know, it was all along, it was difficult. The social workers were very interrogative. They used to come away crying after every single interview, and they were pushing against. Now I'm so delighted to say, and I've just heard the news, so I'm really just dancing with joy for them. They did try another process to get an orphaned, abandoned child in Ethiopia, and they've just got the go-ahead. They've been allocated a son, a 5-month-old child, so 5-month child. So they're delighted, but that process was so easy from start to finish. It was like, even they couldn't believe how quickly everything's happened. It's all happened within about 6 or 7 months. And it usually takes a good couple of years. So this is going to be a test now for you to notice the signs from the universe. You do get signs, you know. You really start to feel when you're pushing against something, and it's so hard. With all this mutable energy and with Mercury retrograde, it's time to rethink how you're looking at your world. And when things start to feel so hard, just know that likelihood is you're not going in the right direction. And with Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, it's very possible that some of your structures, some of the ways you use your time, Chronos, Capricorn, very much ruled by Saturn energy here, how you're using your time. Are you feeling very restricted? Are you feeling rushing? Are you panicking? Are you running from one appointment to another? And chances are, if you're feeling very restricted by the time that you're placing on yourself, whoever you're dealing with, that vibration is coming out at them. They're feeling it too, and they're not enjoying being with you either. So what can you do? I mean, of course, we all have appointments, we all have things that we, in inverted commas, need to do. But how can we go with this flowing energy that's around us all year? How can we rethink? Always put RE in front of everything. There's a lot of retrogrades this year. I'm going to do a video all about retrogrades. And this is about rethinking how you've structured your life. It's a new moon, it's the beginning of the year. How do you want to have your life structured? I'm going to say, and Capricorn loves to have a 5-year, 10-year, 20-year plan. It's going to be very difficult to do that this year. I'm going to say to you, yes, have plans, but be ready to maybe have those plans change and adapt and transform. I've had difficulty myself actually really coming up with seminars for this year because I can feel this mutable energy changing. So I'm pretty much there, and I will be posting some information about them in the next few days. And I'm very excited about some of the topics that I'm going to be covering. But here we are. So this is about using power to transform for a force of really good in your life. And knowing when and when not to go with that flowing energy. Now, we've also got, at the time of this moon, Saturn, which is ruler of Capricorn, is conjunct to Venus. Now, people get awfully nervous about this, Saturn and Venus together. Oh, you know, is that disappointment in love? And yes, it can be. Not to say that it is a possibility that it is that. But again, I'm seeing that we need to move into a new paradigm for astrology. There is a shift of consciousness on this planet, and I'm beginning to write about it in my astrology as well, because I'm noticing that I'm having to reflect myself on how we deliver astrology for this new shift. It's very exciting. So here's what I'm seeing, because I'm noticing the aspects for myself in my own chart. So here's what happened for me with Venus when it transited my natal Saturn very recently. Venus, what you enjoy. Saturn, making something concrete from it. Well, I've always enjoyed music, and when Venus and Saturn came together for me, that was when I went out and bought my violin. So this can be a time of finding pleasure in something and making it real. Something you've always been meaning to do, meaning to get. Maybe you've been meaning to go on to that particular trip to somewhere you'd love to go to. Maybe you've been meaning to start piano lessons. Maybe you've been meaning to learn that language. So it's about really bringing reality into your life at the time of this new moon. So there's a lot going on, really, and because Pluto is involved, I'm going to say to you, don't be afraid to dive deeply. I must admit, many years ago I went scuba diving in Eilat, and I was terribly frightened about, going underneath, and you had this training and they said to you, now don't forget to breathe, and I was like, will I forget to breathe? I got myself all nervous about it. But you know, when you go through that initial sense and you go underneath the ocean and you see the beauty and the fish and the beauty of it. And that's about you diving deeply inside of you and seeing the beauty inside of you and really trying to create for yourself structures in your life, loose structures, to be able to bring that out and make it real for yourself. So many of you did like the violin playing, so I'm just going to play a little bit of Amazing Grace. But the words I'm thinking about are amazing you, when you find that in the depths of you are pearls, are gems, are treasures. And that's what I hope this new moon in Capricorn will inspire you to go and seek out.